guys, and welcome back to another exciting Funko Pop haul video. Now, I know it's been a couple of days since Comic-Con Cape Town 2026, and trust me guys, I was only there for 2 days, but it was so worth it. And I didn't get like a huge Funko Pop haul like I always do at every year's Comic-Con, but still gonna make it special for you guys. So let's get started with well, this is actually going to be a first for me once again. I know I said that a lot in some of my previous videos, but you guys know lately, in between the normal size Funko Pops, I've also become accustomed to the Bitty Pop range, thanks to my best friend. Shout out to Tracy Lee, who's also just as big a Funko Pop collector as myself. Now, with regards to the Bitty Pop that I got at Comic-Con Cape Town 2026, this is from Gamatech South Africa, or aka as we know them, the Funko stand at Comic-Con Cape Town every year. I'm actually glad they had this on, because as I'm looking at it and I'm looking to you guys, I feel the nostalgia coming back. But without further ado, I'm of course talking about the Bitty Pop TMNT Michelangelo from the Last Ronin comic book storyline. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at this awesome display case that you get to put the Bitty Pop in, guys. It looks like a mini arcade game, guys. So guys, if you look on the back there, you can see that when you open the mini arcade, you can easily place Michelangelo in the middle, close him up again, and then when you flip him around, and you guys look here on the front, I'm just going to see if camera can pick it up. If you look here on the front, you can actually see how cool it looks. And it looks like you actually have like a mini Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on display in your collection. Now, before we open him, let's just get into the backstory real quick. So I'm just going to place him down here out of frame, and we're going to get into that backstory. So guys, if you're like me and you grew up in the 90s, you know that we grew up with the reruns of the 1980 series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that ran from, let's say, 1984, 1985, right up until about 2000, 2003. And then it switched over to, I think it's the animated version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation. And of course, we had that short-lived live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series that actually kicked off on an episode of Power Rangers in Space. If you guys remember that crossover episode, like mini season of, I think it was 2 episodes, where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sort of worked for Astronomer, and then obviously they turned good and they helped the Rangers defeat Astronomer. So getting back to Bitty Pop Michelangelo. Now this Michelangelo is actually from an alternate timeline, if you will, or an alternate storyline in the comic book realm of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called The Last Ronin. Now, I'm not going to give too much away. I'm just going to give you guys like how we say in Afrikaans, which is closer to Dutch for my overseas followers. I'm just going to give you guys a breed track summary of what the Last Ronin storyline is about. So guys, I'm going to do the traditional spoiler alert warning. So this is spoiler alert, and now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about the Last Ronin storyline. It is an alternate timeline to the TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that we grew up with, and the latter generations of the early 2000s towards the almost 2010s. So in the Last Ronin, basically all the TMNT brothers are killed by Shredder, or the new Shredder, and the Foot Soldiers, or the Foot Clan. And of course, I think even Master Splinter gets taken out. I'm not sure. So that basically just leaves Michelangelo. Now you guys know that Mikey was always like the party guy, the free-spirited guy. But if you follow the Last Ronin storyline, you'd see that the death of his brothers and their father, Master Splinter, and you know that kind of changes Michelangelo from the free, caring, fun-loving, party-loving dude that he was, to a mercenary that seeks vengeance for Shredder and the Foot Clan that took out his whole family. Now I know it sounds drastic, guys, but in the cartoon world, especially the comic book world, if you have to make a story like interesting, even if it's an alternate timeline from main continuity, then I would definitely say give The Last Ronin a read. So you guys may have noticed that there's an arcade machine there. Now, this is nostalgic to me for a number of reasons, because when I was growing up, I mean, I know I look, I still look young, but when I grew up in the 90s here in South Africa, me and my mom, my dad, and my brother, we would always like go from, okay, this is for all my nostalgic South Africans who always used to take those long road trips, either from Joburg down to Cape Town or from Cape Town back up to Joburg. You know, the Shell Ultra City guys always had like the claw machines with the teddy bears, and then at certain Shell Ultra Cities you had the you had the arcade games, which I think it was like 50 cents or 1 rand or 2 rand. I can't remember exactly, but oh man, me and my brother, we made our parents crazy with like, oh, we want to go play, let's go. And then usually we would like play a couple of rounds before we moved on to the next nostalgic stop on our vacation. Guys, if it looks like the sun is shining on my face and it looks like I'm activating some sort of sun activated superpower, it's just the sun shining in from me and my mom's kitchen window. So yeah. Anyways, what I wanted to show you guys was I did get Michelangelo out of his package. I just want to see here. Sorry guys, I just want to fix something here. Just give me a second. So I did manage to get Michelangelo out of his cover. So this is basically, I'm going to hold him up to camera because, as I mentioned, guys, he is a Bitty Pop. So I'm going to hold him up to camera so you guys can see him. So basically, that is what he looks like when you put him inside the display, the arcade. This is basically what he looks like if you put him inside the arcade display. And if you guys look at the bottom, there's actually space where you can put his Funko or Bitty Pop, where you can put his Bitty Pop box that he comes in at the bottom so that you can keep it safe, so it doesn't gather dust and so on. And as you guys can see on the side here, there's a beautiful tribute to all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brothers, as well as on the back side, you can see it says Bitty Pop Arcade. And then on the other side, let me just get my big finger out of the way. You can also see another beautiful mural tribute of all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle brothers, Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo. Now, I'm just going to take him out of the arcade quickly so you guys can see what he looks like in his teeny tiny little box. And then we're going to sign off. So just to give you guys an idea, this is the obviously you guys can see. So this is the door that you open on the back, and that is what it looks like on the inside of the arcade display box. So you would put the Bitty Pop box in there, and then you would put your Bitty Pop that you want to display like right in there. So it's on display when you when you close the arcade. Pardon the pun. So here is Michelangelo, or Bitty Pop Michelangelo. I'm going to see if camera can pick him up without blurring him too much. Okay, so that's the angle that I have to hold him at. But yeah, as you guys can see, like I told you guys in my previous Bitty Pop videos, it's literally, I want to see if I can get you guys a size. This is my index finger on my left hand, just to give you guys an idea. So you can almost see it's like the top part of my index finger towards the middle of my index finger. That's basically the size of a Bitty Pop, guys. So here's the traditional 360 as promised. And oh, great. Now my big fingers are in the way. But there's the side view. There's the other side view. And there's the back part. And then, of course, almost dropped it. And here's the front part with Michelangelo in it. So all I can say is catch you guys in the next Comic-Con Cape Town 2026 Funko Pop haul from Michelangelo, Harry Dream Chaser. Catch you guys next time. Harry Dream Chaser.
Hey! Hey, dude! Give me your hand! Come on! Where? Huh?
Well, that leaves a why and when, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good thing we saw you coming in here from the roof when we were down.
Hey, Mikey!
I mean, from across the street. Ow!
Jeez.
Michelangelo,
Yeah.
show the professor where he may rest.
Rightio. This way, dude. It ain't the Hilton. Let's face it, you'd be better off staying at the Hilton.